Good morning to you, St. Louis. I am Robin Wright-Jones. I'm the Executive Director of the Empowerment Network. We are here today to launch the National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Every year for the last 3 years since President Obama has been in office, he has declared September as National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. We at the Empowerment Network take this opportunity to celebrate our survivors, to provide activities, and also to promote awareness and advocacy for men who have been impacted and for their families as well. We will have a press conference this morning. We will have 3 speakers. That will be the Honorable Louis Reed, President Board of Aldermen, Honorable Chris Carter, who's the Alderman in the 27th Ward, and then we will have remarks from Mr. Belby Shaheed, who is our President of the Board and Founder. We have on the dais with us the 3 men that we spoke of who will speak. We have our board member, Attorney Hope Whitehead, along with Isidore Wayne, who is co-founder of the Empowerment Network. Our first speaker this morning will be Alderman Chris Carter, and we are focusing on community health. Thank you.
Thank you. First off, I would just like to thank Belby Shaheed, Senator Robin Wright-Jones, who is still my senator, and you guys, the Empowerment Network. You have been housed in the 27th Ward, and we want to thank you for that for the past few years. And it's just an honor and a pleasure to be here with you in celebration of this month. Reading up on a few things before I came down here, I was just talking to Honorable Louis Reed about getting tested and the importance of spreading the word about getting tested. And I learned a few things. I learned about the DREs, and it sounds scary to me, but I know that dying from this horrible disease is even scarier. So I am in this fight with you, and on behalf of myself and the citizens of the 27th Ward, we want to thank you and keep you in our ward, and we just, definitely want to be here to fight with you. So if there's anything that I can do, I'm here for you. So thank you.
Thank you, Alderman. We've always been blessed with the support and the presence of the Carter family. The late Alderman Greg Carter has always been very active with us, and we certainly do thank the support that we get from them. Our next speaker will be the Honorable Louis Reed, President of Board of Aldermen. Thank you.
Good morning. First, giving honor to God, the head of my life and my creator. I am honored to be here today for a number of reasons. When we look at where this movement has come from and where it is today, I am so excited that St. Louis with the Empowerment Network, the brother and all of you, that we're making a difference in the lives of people all across the city of St. Louis and all across this nation. Brother Belby Shaheed, when he began this movement and linked up with Greg Carter and established that office in Greg's ward, and began to reach out to people and began to organize all of the volunteers and organize all the survivors and began to recognize this month every year in the city of St. Louis, that was a new day. And that's what we're faced with today. We are in a new day. And the job is not easy. I can't think of anything that would be more difficult than to establish a new norm where we get African American males used to the idea of going to the doctor, used to the idea of going to get tested, used to the idea of putting that first. Because we oftentimes put everybody else first. We oftentimes put our wife, our kids, and everybody else first. But when it comes to this, it's important that we put ourselves first. When it comes to this, it's important that we understand that To be there for our wives and kids and family, we must get tested. To be there to earn income, to be there to love them, to be there to see our kids grow up, it's important that we get tested. So I want to thank each and every one of the survivors here today. Let's give them a round of applause for leading that fight. And again, thank Brother Melvin Shaheed, Senator Robin Wright Jones, and everybody that has made a difference. May not seem like it, but you are changing people's lives each and every day. So thank you for what you've done.
Thank you, President Reed. Before we bring up Melvin Shaheed, I would just like to mention a few things. On the table over here to my right, there are information booklets about prostate cancer, along with a flyer on our we have a routine radio health show every Sunday, 5 o'clock on WGNU 920. We have the flyer for this Sunday's show, which will include our co-founder, Isidore Wayne. We also have a little brochure about our luncheon, our brunch that's coming up on September the 20th. We will be providing free PSA testing, also glucose, cholesterol, and blood pressure screening. Those are free to the community. That will happen at New Northside Conference Center on the 20th. We also participate in a church tour where we go into the local churches. I speak to the women in the congregation, and Mr. Shaheed speaks to the men. From a woman's perspective, we are all about well-woman care. Every woman here in the audience, I'm sure, knows how to take care of themselves, but I encourage the women to talk to their husbands, their sons, their nephews, their fathers, their grandfathers, to get themselves tested because their health is important to our households and our community. Testing can start as early as age 35. We have a survivor who has been impacted 3 times, and it started at the age of 35. So I encourage you to spread that word. There's also press packets available for you as well. We will bring up Mr. Melvin Shaheed. He's the founder and the president, and he has good words for you.
Good morning, St. Louis. My name is Melvin Shaheed, and I am a 7-year prostate cancer survivor and a prostate cancer advocate. All praises is due to God. The founder and the CEO of the Empowerment Network. I'd like to thank everyone for coming out to kick off September National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. A special thank you to all our elected officials, all the groups, all the organizations. Our board of directors is here this morning, and a special shout out to my organization, the 100 Black Men of Metropolitan St. Louis, that each and every year they man that great prostate cancer survivor and awareness walk. I'd like to publicly thank President Obama for issuing a proclamation from the White House declaring September as National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Each year in September, during his presidency, he has declared September as a month to promote awareness, a month to celebrate, and a month to remember those who have lost their lives to this insidious disease called prostate cancer. So St. Louis, please put your hands together and let's give the Honorable President Barack Obama a round of applause. Now, at the Empowerment Network, we are using this as a special month to honor those survivors in our organization who are back fighting the reoccurrence of prostate cancer. Several of our survivors are fighting this disease a second or a third time. So St. Louis, please keep our survivors in your prayers. Brothers and sisters, the mission of the Empowerment Network is simple: to provide cancer outreach, education, support, and advocacy services to males across the St. Louis metropolitan community. It is our belief that if you can heighten the awareness and educate males on this disease, this will lead to more men getting tested, which will help decrease the rate of death caused by this disease. Prostate cancer, in my opinion, is still an epidemic in the urban community, and it needs to be addressed. Currently in the U.S., there are over 2 million prostate cancer survivors surviving this disease due to modern medicine. Yet, in the urban community and throughout our nation, there is a new age developing for prostate cancer. This disease is showing up in the lives of men as early as the age of 35. Prostate cancer is not an older man's disease anymore. Statistics are showing yet that men are living longer, yet when men get diagnosed with this disease, they're living in shame, they're living in disgrace, they're living in fear, they're living in bitterness, and many of these men choose to live in total isolation. Many of these men live without a loving caregiver. They live without a loving wife. These survivors need support. Our great city is blessed to have in the St. Louis community the Empowerment nationally acclaimed support group made up of over 200 prostate cancer survivors. Our support group is helping men through the emotional and the psychological setbacks of this disease. Our support group is helping to improve the quality of lives of prostate cancer survivors and their families. Our support group is helping prostate cancer survivors live a healthier and a more productive life. Many of these survivors are right here today, so St. Louis, put your hands together. The men in the blue ties, let's give it up to them, prostate cancer survivors. Now, just to follow up on what Robin just said, I'm excited to announce some exciting activities for September National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. But first, let me publicly thank the St. Louis Baseball Cardinals for giving our organization 40 tickets to be at the game Wednesday. Not only did this great organization give us 40 tickets, but this great organization allowed one of our survivors, Isidore Wayne, to throw out the first pitch. Let's give it to the Cardinals. Go Cards! Now, on September the 7th, the Empowerment Network will be at Mount Beulah Church under the leadership of Reverend Shields, and we'll be testing men for prostate cancer. This is our Save and Empower Our Men's Church Tour, and we will have our sponsors there from the People's Health Center, the Betty Jane Kerr People's Health Center, and also Quest Laboratory. Also, later on that evening, after you leave church, and after you had that good meal, cut on WGNU 9:20 a.m., the new and improved Empowerment Network Health Radio Show, and we will be continuing our series. We've been doing a series over the last 2 months, honoring men who are back fighting prostate cancer, either for a second or a third time. This week, we'll be honoring our co-founder, Isidore Wayne, and he'll be telling his story of the battle that he's had with prostate cancer. So please listen in to WGNU 9:20 a.m. at 5 p.m. Also, September the 12th, we'll be right back down here at City Hall, and we'll be honored with a resolution by the Board of Aldermen during their board meeting here at City Hall by the Honorable President Lewis Reed. And then I will do just a little short presentation to my friends at the Board of Aldermen. But the icing on the cake. So you know, like when you bake a cake, you gotta always spread that icing on there. The icing on the cake is on September the 20th. The Empowerment Network will be sponsoring the Jazz Brunch, and it's a health fair at the New Northside Conference Center. This particular event helps to keep the doors of our award-winning cancer center open for another year. So before you leave, if you have not had your tickets, please contact myself or Robin. Now, in my closing, I want to leave you with a quote by our president here, President Lewis Reed. I want to quote him for a second. On this roster, right up here in the rotunda about 3 years ago, our president, he coined a phrase. And I don't know if he remember, he said, stay alive, get tested by 35. Do you remember that? Stay alive, get tested by 35. That's what our honorable president said, because the disease is attacking me as early as the age of 35. So we're encouraging the community to take advantage of this great month of September, the National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and let's encourage men in our community to get tested. Also, in 2015, our dream, our vision, our quest for the future is to be in September 2015 to be in Washington, D.C., and to kick off September National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month with President Obama. That's where we want to be at in 2015. Amen? I want to thank everyone for coming out this morning and honoring us with your presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shaheed. And before we close, I would like to recognize a couple of our elected officials. We have the Honorable Jennifer Florida, Recorder of Deeds. We have the Honorable Ed McFarland. He is the committeeman in the 4th Ward. We have two of our good community leaders here, Mr. His name, I'm going blank. See, that's a matter of age. Zaki Baruti, United States. Thank you. And we have Mr. Joe Anderson, who is the president of 100 Black Men. We certainly appreciate you coming out this morning. And if there are any questions from anyone, anybody like to ask any questions? Oh, we also have Mr. I'm drawing a blank this morning. The executive director of the 100 Black Men. If you please stand, Mr. Jacques Land is also in the room. Thank you. And I also want to thank our survivors for coming and supporting us. This is just a small percentage of us. We have over 200 men as survivors in our group. That's about saving lives. That's about saving lives, and that's what we do. We advocate, we educate, we raise awareness, and we have good relationships with our 2 medical centers where we're participating in research as well. I'd also like to thank the President's Office for his help in setting this up this morning, to STL TV for coming in and filming us, and I appreciate you being here, and please have a